Hello everyone, I welcome you all back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you on how to cut a suit. On the previous video we were shown on how to draft a basic suit pattern. So on this video I'm going to show you how to cut the lining and how the suit is being gummed. Now this is the back, in which whoever sees the previous video should be able to understand what this is all about. Now this is the drafted portion of the back. This is the drafted portion of the back. Now if you want to gum the back, this black position is where the hairstay will be placed. Likewise the other side, which you can see. Then on this drafted part, this is how it's being gummed, this way and upward. Now you first of all bend the down part, then you bend the side part as well, and you ensure your bending is ½ inch away from the tip of it. So the other part has the same gum, just the way it is, but the bending is only from the downside, not the both side. So the drafted portion have two bendings, downward then sideways. Now if you want to cut the lining, you turn it upside down. This is how it is. The drafted part will be down. The drafted part will be down, then it will now be like this. So when you want to cut, you follow up the tip just the way it is, like this. You follow up this tip to the down part. Now once you're done from this edge, then you cut out your neck portion, leaving 0.7, not up to 1 inch, but you can leave up to 1 inch if you want to. You can leave at least 0.7 away from the edges of the neck and the shoulder slants. Now coming from this other side, you don't need to follow up this right shape, this angle shape. All you need to do, just take it downward, then you take it down, leaving 0.7 inch away from the main fabric. This allowance is meant for seaming, and we're still going to trim it off at long last after everything is joined. So now after you've cut out your neck region and your side, then you open it up, then you can now cut out the length. So now after you've cut out this part, you lift the back out, leaving your lining alone. Then so now after you've dropped out the fabric, leaving the lining alone, you're going to mark out 2 inches from the top and from the bottom, like this. Then you slant it to your waistline. You slant it to your waistline, upward, like this. So now after you've slanted your line, then you cut out the upper layer. You cut it out. Now this is it. Now only one part is being trimmed. One is shorter than the other, in which is well explained on the other video on how to sew a back center vent. So now after you've done this, then you indicate your wrong side and right side. Now you take this one back, then you fold it and keep it aside. Then you pull your lining a little, then you pick your front. This is the front, this is the front, and this is the side. So now, as you can see, this is the side part of the front. Now, for we to gum the side part of the front, this black portion is, this small part is the side. The first one we call is the back. This is the front, this is the side, and the other one is the back. So now this is how the side is being gummed. Just this area alone will contain the hasty, in which you can see is being gummed already. Then the down part, your 2 inches of your hem point, of your full length point, you gum it, and you can bend it if you want to, although it's optional. Then for the front, the main front is being gummed complete. It's a full stay we are supposed to apply on this one. So now we are going to cut out the lining for the front. So now, from our drafting, we were able to notify everyone on how we came about this small opening here. This one is a way in which the dart is being contoured on the fabric. So this small 0.2 that you can see is well explained on the video of the drafting. So now this is how it is. So now this is the interface in which we cut. So now the front alone, only the front and the interface contains a full stay, that is from the top to bottom. Only these 2 parts contains a full stay. Now this is how it's being placed. Now we have cut our back from this part. This remaining area will be for our front. Now you take your side and your interface. This is the tip, and you should go at least 1 inch in to the edge of your lining. So this is how it's been placed. You should go at least 1 inch inside. So after you've placed your interface, you pick your front, you keep it well. The front too should be at least ½ inch away from the interface. Should be ½ inch away from the interface. So now this is how it is. So now this is how it's being placed. Remember, the interface should be 1 inch in the lining. Then the placement of the front should be at least ½ inch away from the tip of the interface. Then after then you now pick your side. You arrange it the way it is when you were drafting. This is how it is. So after you've arranged it like this, then you cut your lining. You ensure you give at least 2 inches away from the tip of your side. You give at least 2 inches. You take it down. So now, after you've cut out this part, then you come to the down part of your interface. Then you now cut it straight to this side. Now, please try to understand this part. After you've cut out your interface like this, this separation here, where you see I drew, is going to be cut out. Now, and you can see there is a form of dart we created here when we were drafting, and this place, this little dart you see, this short dart, is going to be stitched with 0.2 inch. Now you stitch 0.2 from here, you stitch 0.2 from here, making ½ inch. That is from this edge. This part are equal. From here they are equal. So when you stitch on this area 0.2.2, it will now be half inch. So now that means when you stitch this short dart, this place will be shorter than the other side. So now you assume you have stitched your half inch, which is 0.2.2. This is how it will look like. So after then, we can now, after you've stitched your short dart, it will now be like this. Then you can now blend, use your scissors to trim out this other side, just to get a straight cut from there. So now from this point where the side and the front is being separated, you're going to give a cut from there, following your chalk, and assuming now we have stitched this short dart already, this is how it will look like. So now we are trying to cut out the lining in such a way we don't need to trim anything from it again. So now, instead of we to follow up this shape on the lining, we assume this place is being stitched and here is being trimmed out. So we lift up this edge of the fabric, then we now cut it out downward. Now this is how it is. Now after you've successfully cut out from this edge, then remaining the edge of the side. So now on the same cut, you follow up the side pattern. You follow the edge of the side down to where it will meet at the bottom part. Then you take off these pieces. So now this is the smaller dart we took from this edge, from this point. Now we cut it out, then now it's of no use. So after you've successfully separated your side lining from the front lining, then you lift off your side, you pick the other side, you keep them together like this, keep them on one side. Then from this edge of the side lining, you demarcate a strike there, which is the wrong and right side of the side. Now you fold them together. Now after you've successfully cut the side lining, you can now take off your front, leaving you with just your interface and the remaining lining. So now for we to get the right positioning of this other lining, you demarcate the edge of your fabric, of your interface on the lining. Demarcate the edge of it on the lining. Now after you've done this, now for average length of length 30, 31, from this down part you can measure up 18 inches